Hello my people, welcome to another tutorial. My name is Agnes. In today's tutorial I will show you how you can make this fuzzy jacket. It's very fast because the yarn is chunky, it's cozy, it's soft, it's everything beautiful, and it is easy to make. I will tell you how you can make this in different sizes. I'll give you different measurements for different sizes so you can make it in your size. I also have a written pattern for this, and you can find this on my Etsy shop or my yarnsy.com shop, and I'm going to leave the links in the description box as well as on the pinned comment, so you can check it out if you love our written pattern. And we are just going to go straight into the tutorial. So today we're going to be trying out new yarn, and this is from Durable. It's Durable Furry. It is 50 grams and 35 meters each ball of yarn. It is 100% polyester, and it is super bulky yarn. This is size 6 yarn. Yeah, this is in color vintage pink, and it recommends an 8mm hook or a US 11. So for the hook size, I'm going to be using the 8mm hook size. You're going to need a tape measure and scissors. So you can get this exact yarn from durableyarn.com. There you can find the physical shop locations, or you can get it online through my storefront. I will leave the links in the description box and in the comment section pinned so that you can be able to get this yarn. Let's start. We'll start with the back panel, and then we'll do the front panels, and once we are done with that, we'll do the sleeves. Then we will join everything together, and then once we are done, we do the collar, and that's it. We're going to start with a foundation chain, and for this is how it looks like inside, So for the foundation chain, for my size, I am going to chain 30. So make a slip knot, and don't make your stitches tight, okay? So I make my slip knot, and I'm going to chain 30. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to chain 30, then I come back to you. So this is me with my 30 chains, and let's see how many inches this is. This is about 23 inches. So if you want something not a big fit like it fits on me, then you can go a size lower. But if you like the way it fits me, then you're going to chain as many inches as I have put on the chart for your size. All right, so now we are going to go to row 1, and for row 1 we are going to need a turning chain. Okay, so what we are going to do is you're going to chain 2 for the turning chain. So this is our last chain here, right? The 30th. So I'm going to just hold there so that I know where it is. Then I'm going to chain 2 for the turning chain, and we are going to be using half double crochets. So you're going to yarn over, you're going to skip these 2 chains that you made and into this chain that is right here. You have to feel it with your fingers if you're unable to see it, because it's hard to see because of the fuzzy yarn, but you can feel it with your fingers. So I'm going to I have 3 loops and then pull through all. So that's my first half double crochet. We are not making our stitches tight, so this is where I worked. So you just go to the next one, feel where the next stitch is, or the next chain, and make a half double crochet. That's my second one, and I'm going to go in with my third one and go in with my fourth. Just feel where your stitches are. That's 5, 6, 7, 7, and I'm going to just go into every stitch. At the end of it all, I should have 30 half double crochets. So it's important that you count so that you don't have any missing. So count your stitches. So at the end of it all, I should have 30, and then I'll come so that we can do row 2. So I've done 29, and this is going to be my last stitch here. And that comes to the end of my first row. So this is my first row. And now we're going to go to row 2. And row 2 is going to be our repeat row. So it's just a row of half double crochets. What you're going to do is you're going to chain 2. And then you're going to turn your work. And then you're going to go into every stitch with half double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to feel where your first stitch, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so feel where your first stitch is and insert your hook, and then pull through all 3 loops, yarn over, go into the second stitch, just feel it with your hands. I can see that my second stitch is here, but I need to feel where the loops are. And feel them. You can feel them with your hands. And then that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. So I'm going to do this until I have my 30 stitches. So the number of stitches you start with on row 1 will be the same number of stitches you will work on every row. So I'm going to work my 30 until I'm back here, and then we start on row 3. So I have my 29 stitches, and on top of this chain 2 is where I'm going to work my 30th. So that's my last one. And we're now going to start again. So you're going to chain 2 for our row 3, turn your work, and make half double crochets in every stitch. So fill the first one, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're just going to repeat this whole pattern until you get to the length of your sweater that you want, cardigan. So it's from your top of your shoulder, measure from the top of your shoulder to where you want it to reach, and that's when you'll stop, and then we'll come and do the front panels, right? Just continuing with where we leave off. So I'll see you once you have the measurements for your back panel, the length. That's my back panel, and it's 15 inches long. So yours can be longer, can be shorter, depends on what you prefer. The length is your preference. So we are going to add the front panels, and we leave some space in between for the neckline. As you can see, I already did one of my front panels, so I'm going to show you how we arrive at that. So mine front panel is 9 inches. This other one is also going to be 9 inches. So when you get to the top of the back panel, don't cut off your yarn. Continue with the front panel, and I give you how many inches you need to do for that. And once you're done with the same length as your back panel, then you are going to reattach your yarn on this other side, and you're going to make the same number of stitches. So you've got to count your stitches. So for me, I did 12 stitches on this side. So now I need to do 12 on this side. So now I'm going to count 12 stitches. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is my 12th. So its 2 loops are right here. So that's where I'm going to reattach my yarn there. And then
chain 2. So reattach, and then that's chain 2. And now in that same stitch I'll make a half double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12th out here. Okay, so now I have 12 stitches, and I'm just going to go back and forth. So chain 2, and then turn your work. Turn my work and do 12 stitches again until here. So I'll just work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so I'm just going to keep going back and forth until I have the same number of rows or same number of inches as this other one. Okay, so it's just going back and forth until we get to the same length. So this is what I have after completing the 2 panels, and now you will go ahead and do the sleeves. It's quite easy, same pattern, just different measurements. So I'm going to give you the measurements of what I have. So for the foundation chain of the sleeves, I did a chain that was about 14 inches long. And then I worked half double crochets all the way, and my chains were 20 chains plus 2, so that was 22. So I have 20 half double crochets from here to here, and I worked 20 half double crochets, which is an equivalent of 14 inches for me. And I did all the way until I had the length of my sleeve that I wanted, which is about 19 inches long. So my sleeve is about 19 inches long, and once I was done with that, I went ahead and did another sleeve that's exactly the same, and now we are going to join them. For the other sizes, you can check the chart that I'm going to put up so that you make your sleeve. It's the same pattern, just different sizes of the panels. All right, so the length of the sleeve will be how long you want it to be. That's your choice of how long you want it to be. I'm going to go ahead and lay the sleeves like that. Once you have the 2 sleeves, lay the front panels and the back panel, this part down like that, then the sleeves on the sides like that, and you're going to sew this area and this area, and make sure this middle part is corresponding with the middle part of the sleeves. Okay, so that they are nicely portioned, both at the front and at the back, and then we're just going to sew them together. I just did this side, and I used a slip stitch. As you can see, this is on the right side and this is on the wrong side, so I'm just going to show you how I did that on the other side. It's just slip stitching. Decide really which side you want your wrong side to be. The sides are the same. It's just look at it and see where you want to be the inside and what you want to be the outside. And yeah, this is my sleeve already arranged along this area. So this is going to be my wrong side. I reattach my yarn through these panels. This is the sleeve on this side and this is the other panel. And then just my yarn like this. Do I have the 2? You have to make sure you have the 2 panels, yeah, intact. And then yeah, like this.
And now I'm just going to slip stitch through the 2 panels. You just have to feel. I'm not putting in any specific space. I'm just, trying to feel and make sure I just have the 2 panels. That's what's important, that you're putting your hook through both the sleeve and the panel like this. Just slip stitch through. I'm too lazy to go to my desk where I normally shoot upstairs, so I'm just doing this here. Alright, so we are going to slip stitch all the way like this until we get to the end of the sleeve. So sleeves attached, and now we are going to fold this. So we are now going to sew from like this all the way down here, and the same for that other side, using a slip stitch just like we did with this part, and we are doing it on the wrong side. So do that and we'll come put the collar. So you can put like chains here and just tie in the front, but what I'm going to do is put a collar. So I measured from top here to here 5 inches, and top here to here 5 inches. I put stitch marker, so I'm going to work around this area like this with half double crochets, a couple of rows to make a collar. All right, so I'll start here, go around, and here, start here, go around like this to make a collar. So this is my last one of the 10 skeins, and yeah, let's use it on the collar. Hopefully it's enough. So I'm going to reattach my yarn here, and I think I'm going to start working from the inside. So I remove this, reattach my yarn. I'm going to chain 1, and in that very same space I'm going to put a half double crochet. So my first reattaching chain counts as 1, so I add 1 more. So now I'm going to go into every stitch that I can feel and make a half double crochet. That looks like an increase here. Just feel your way through the stitches, as long as you're not putting 2 in one, then we should be good to go. So here at the top, here in the corner, I'm going to put 2 stitches in one. So right there is my corner. I put 2 stitches in one, and then just continue with 1 stitch in every possible stitch. Alright, so I'm just going to continue with this. Once I get to this corner, 2 stitches in one, and I will go all the way here. I came all the way down here, and this is where my stitch marker is, so I remove that and replace it with a stitch. So we are just going to continue this pattern. So you chain 2, turn your work, and work from one end to the other. And alternatively, you can just do this on the side, crochet the collar on the side, and just attach it to this area. That's also a possibility.
If this gives you a hard time, just make a long triangle that comes from here to the other side separately, and then sew it on with a slip stitch. So all right, I'm going to just continue doing this. Once you get to the end here, chain 2, and make sure you're counting your stitches so that you have the same number on every row, and then I'll come back and tell you how many rows I did. I think there will not be so many, so but I will tell you how many. Done with the collar, and I used my yarn, all of it, to the last bit. And as you can see, my collar is 6 inches and I did 5 rows, so it's up to you. You can do more, you can do less, depends on what you prefer, but so far that's what I have. Yeah, so that's our cardigan. I'm going to try it on and show you how it fits. So this is how it looks like. It's very cozy, it's very fast, it's so soft, and I love it, and I hope you can recreate it. So don't be intimidated by fuzzy yarn. I always was, but I think it's now easy to work with for me. So I will see you in the next tutorial. Please make sure to share this one, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and please go to my Etsy shop and buy my written patterns. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.